Chapter 1. Do you belong here? There are plenty of books about how to be happy, or at least happier. And this book is not one of them. If you feel pretty okay mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and you want to nudge your well-being a little higher, you have seriously come to the wrong place. Likewise, if you're typically a cheerful person but a recent setback is making you unhappy, your lover cheated on you, a loved one died, or your house burned down, then you probably don't need this book either. You'll recover in time without the 7 life hacks. On the other hand, if relief from constant mental misery and clawing your way back up to neutral is all you dare to hope for, you do belong here. The 7 life hacks exist solely for readers who endure a persistent emotional state so awful that even a wisp of happiness feels out of reach. Tell me, are you sometimes suicidal? Does your depression and/or anxiety taunt you with scenes of jumping off a tall building, or fantasies of gazing down on your own funeral from high above? Have you considered filling your pockets with heavy rocks some moonless night and trudging resolutely from sandy shore into the deep, dark waters, never to return? Do you feel like the jaded, aging starlet filming yet another pathetic horror movie who wails, "Who do I have to screw to get out of this movie?" If so, this book is my gift to you. Don't kill yourself. Instead, give the 7 life hacks a chance to help you emerge from your bottomless black pit and beat your depression or anxiety into absolute submission. You've suffered its domination long enough, and now it's your turn to dominate. After all, which do you really prefer being? The dominated or the dominator? Choose dominator, and you'll no longer feel like some sorry-ass, whipped, fearful, exhausted, devastated loser. You'll restore your life force, and in every conscious moment you'll subtly vibrate with your unique power. You'll win emotional and mental freedom by implementing the 7 life hacks described in this little book. Yes, it'll take some time to fully recover, but I believe you'll gain tangible relief very quickly. How can I help you? Resurrecting your life force requires focus, but it's not complicated. Hang with me, and you'll learn how 4 core issues annihilate your life force, moment to moment, every day. Number 1, your thoughts. Number 2, your interactions with others. Number 3, the circumstances of your daily grind. Number 4, your relationship with your body. I'll give you the hacks needed to halt the depletion as it's occurring. When you counteract these energies that enfeeble you, your life force automatically and miraculously starts to renew itself. As a mega bonus, we'll renew your life force without any processing. That's unique. There's no lengthy analysis of your inadequacies, mistakes, losses, or regrets. You don't ponder or process your issues. You simply learn to neutralize attacks on your life force in real time. You can do this. Will you be truly happy? That's asking a lot. But you'll no longer be miserable. That's my commitment to you. I'm confident the 7 will bring you relief because I developed and distilled these 7 hacks through years of trial and error in battling my own depression. Just a few words about me. Originally, I was a cocky, unbridled optimist. While studying psychology at UCLA, I adopted as my guiding principle this famous maxim attributed to Charles Dubois. The important thing is this: to be able, at any moment, to sacrifice what we are for what we could become. This single sentence plunked me on a zigzag path after college to become TWA flight attendant, PGA golf professional, published author, member of the Screen Actors Guild, Stanford MBA, commercial real estate agent, serial entrepreneur in divergent industries, business consultant, and investment banker. At each juncture, I sacrificed whatever I had previously attained to undertake something completely different. In retrospect, this was downright foolhardy because continually starting new careers put me at a serious disadvantage to those with decades of relevant experience. Even worse, starting in the 1980s, I enthusiastically endorsed the New Age proclamation that mankind was on the immediate verge of long-heralded enlightenment and revolution in human consciousness. Undoubtedly, I told myself, my true purpose for being here was to partake in this great spiritual transformation. I don't need to tell you how that's turned out. And so my unabashed optimism gradually deteriorated into dogged depression born of thwarted ambitions and dashed dreams. For you movie buffs, I was as punch-drunk as Rocky after the 14th round. This lasted more years than I care to recount. I used to gaze at the ledge out the window of my 7th-story office and wonder if taking the leap would bring blessed relief. To pull myself out of the deep, dark hole, I tried talk therapy, medication, and workshops, and I read and listened to countless self-help books and audio programs. I ultimately succeeded in dispelling my depression and, along the way, developed the 7 Life Hack System, which I now offer to you. I'm here with my hacks to handle the heavy lifting, to help blow away your persistent, pernicious distress and reboot your life force. The 7 Life Hacks will get you back to neutral. Where you go from there is up to you. How miserable are you? By now, hopefully, all the well-adjusted folks have departed as instructed, and only true malcontents remain. To determine just how miserable you are, let's quickly assess your range of emotions during the past couple of years. Look at the 2 diagrams on pages 4 and 5 of the downloadable companion PDF workbook that came with this audiobook. The horizontal axis along the bottom of each graph represents the past 2 years with time moving from left to right. The vertical axis represents your mood at any given time, with the happiest you can imagine being at the top of the box and your lowest, most miserable moods at the bottom. The line across the middle represents feeling neutral, neither happy nor depressed. The person in the following example was in a decent mood at the beginning and then gradually fell into massive depression. She or he also showed more volatility in mood in the later months. Grab a pen and draw a line across the page on the graph on page 5 of your PDF workbook, showing your typical emotional states as they have occurred over the last 24 months or so. The area on the graph where you spend most of your time indicates your emotional set point, which is your most typical mood. Your personal set point these days lies well below neutral in the miserable region, does it not? As you make your way through the 7 and unleash the hacks in your daily life, your emotional set point will rise to neutral or better and stay there. To achieve this, however, you must become a different person. A different you. First ask yourself this: am I truly willing to become a different person? Does my depression or anxiety serve me in some important way that I cannot abandon? Be honest with yourself. Close the book and take a few moments to ponder these questions. If you could beat your depression and anxiety into permanent submission by becoming a different person, would you do it? Starting today. If so, how far are you willing to go? I assume you don't lack advice about how to improve your mental and emotional states. Your friends, family, loved ones, and therapists undoubtedly bombard you with suggestions and requests for new attitudes and behaviors. You resist, however. You are stuck where you are partly because you resist changing. The 7 will help you, even drive you, to crush your depression and anxiety and restore your life force, but only if you release your stubborn resistance to becoming a different person. How different? Paradoxically, both a little and a lot. As you unleash the 7, you'll make small changes in your daily life that transform your mood and your personality in a big way. Your mind won't feel foggy and over-medicated. Quite the contrary. You'll be more alert, more energetic, more engaged. You'll probably say, I feel a lot better, like my old self, like my real self. Take 10 seconds, right now, to really acknowledge your resistance. It is real, palpable, and perhaps the most substantial part of you. Answer honestly. How does your resistance to changing serve you? Can you abandon your "yeah, but" resistance, at least for a while? Sorry, you can't be half-hearted or half-assed about this. Either you commit to changing yourself in some meaningful way, which the 7 will help you do, or you stay stuck precisely where you are now. It's too soon to ask for hearty enthusiasm, so I'll settle for your grim determination to be receptive to new ideas and try some new behaviors. Can you picture yourself in a better state? Can you imagine a consistent feeling that right now everything is just fine? Can you envision being centered, unflappable, unfuckwithable? Don't screw with me or yourself on this. Go to a mirror right now and look yourself in the eyes. Make a firm, final decision. Do not continue to the next section of this book until you choose one of the 2 choices in the checkboxes on page 5 of your PDF workbook. Number 1, I will stay an enslaved, beaten loser. Close the book. Bye-bye. Number 2, I will suppress my resistance to becoming a different person and use the 7 to restore my power and life force. Okay, please continue. Which comes first? As you well know, depression and anxiety contain both mental and physical aspects. Your mind is plagued with miserable thoughts, and your body feels unbearably out of whack. The 7 addresses both dimensions. But which should come first? Ideally, we'd hack your body first, giving you increased energy and stamina to tweak your mind persistently. That approach is unrealistic, however, because this book is for really miserable folks who can barely summon enough energy to read, let alone make sustainable changes in how they treat their bodies. After careful consideration, I've decided we'll revamp your mind first, using simple but powerful hacks that will give you plenty of energy to restore your body. Let's get busy hacking your internal world.